Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have video and audio that leaked this week showing egregious abuse of K-pop idols by their own CEO. Yes, it's kind of like a podunk company, and it is a relatively I don't want to say unknown group because they have tons of fans and they just went on a world tour, but on the big global scale of K-pop, which has, developed, they are on the more lesser known side. But even people who had never heard of them, including me, even people who don't really even know any of their songs, aren't really fans at all, have been so upset by this incident and want to come to their aid that there was this whole thing on social media this week about protecting the Omega X members from their own label CEO. Crazy. And she looks like a lost Smurf. We'll get into some of the video, we'll get into some of the audio, and I even went to the company headquarters just to see, what kind of situation they're working with, so I got the video on that. Also, like when you have to clean your makeup sponges or brushes, is there a fast and easy way that is extremely effective? I know a lot of you may have some brushes and sponges you haven't cleaned in a while. Well, this, I think, is one of the cheapest, most long-lasting, and effective sponge and brush cleansers on the market, and it's so easy. I'm going to show you how to use it. And of course, the mask sale. Yes, you gotta get your mask if you want to get the colors you want. It is still on sale at the highest discount just for Seoulite TV subscribers, and you can get a bundle pack. I mean, the gold or the white would look great with the eye mask that I introduced in our last video, but essentially what this magical thing does is warm your eyes to give you a relaxing 15-minute power nap, and these LED lights light up so that you can work on your crow's feet and under eye bags, increase circulation, and also plump up the collagen without any products. Skip the eye cream because the eye cream, like I said, I don't think it really works. It's great if you can afford it or you put it in there, but why not skip your eye cream and put the budget towards technology that actually does something? All right, guys, all that coming up, so stay tuned. So the band is called Omega X, and first of all, there are way too many members. I know that if you are a fan, I don't want to say like, oh, there shouldn't be that many because, it includes some of the guys that you like, but 11 in this day and age especially, and by a label that is not one of the big three. Even the big management companies don't have this many members. There are 11 members, and I think that probably adds to the stress of the company management, especially the way that the CEO was knocking off, going crazy. It's so unjustified, but if you kind of think of where some of the pressure points for her are, it's probably that she and basically she's the CEO, and she said that, oh, I put my money in here, and basically she's like one of these like slaves producing, and she is like the right-hand man. Woman, I believe. Yeah, it was a woman CEO that abused them and kicked them and hit them and yelled at them and embarrassed them in public. But she has the company chairman who I believe left a tech career and then decided to set up an entertainment company. So that kind of shows you what's going on there. But nobody in their right mind would have a boy band with 11 people. That is way too much in terms of the budget. It's hard to get a return on your investment with that many members. Yes, some of you may be thinking of well, what about Super Junior? Well, yeah, Super Junior debuted when SM Entertainment was the #1 music agency. And also, Super Junior was essentially, well, from what I've heard, a project that was supposed to fail. Under contract, the management agency is supposed to guarantee at least one debut for all of their trainees who are working so hard throughout the years. And the way that it was presented was that SM was just trying to get out of its obligation of debuting these guys and just lumped them all together and said, oh, go debut. Let's see how that goes. And then they were really popular unexpectedly. So they went on with it and, it did great. Everybody loved them. But when you look at kind of the members, it looks like sometimes it kind of looks like a hodgepodge. Like, what is this? And essentially it was basically like just get them out the door and, oh yeah, well, sorry if it didn't work out. And then boom, gone. But it worked out so well. And even then, that wasn't supposed to be a strategic plan to launch 10 members. So Omega X has 11 members, way too many. No wonder this woman is stressed out. Not only the money, but also essentially she is raising 11 kids because, you pluck them when they're still not even developed. And then, I know people over 50 are still not developed, acting as crazy as her and the kids. But the kids, I don't think you can blame because from what we saw from the video, they were acting extremely responsible and mature. They weren't fighting back. They were being extremely respectful. And everybody who's interacted with these Omega X members say that they are some of the nicest and most polite artists in K-pop. So what happened? They went on a Latin American, North American tour, and the last stop was Los Angeles. And this is where we have our video evidence from. Some of the fans, I believe, took the video of this altercation and then released it, leaked it out on social media. And also, the owner there were about at least 2 or 3 sites of abuse. One was a parking lot outside of a restaurant in Los Angeles. Then it was in the hotel lobby, and then at the airport. Or maybe the airport was before because they got abandoned before they could get to the airport for their return home. And that's a different story that we'll get into. But what we saw most from the news coverage, which SBS even picked up, showed her yelling and screaming and abusing these guys at the parking lot and then also in the hotel lobby. Now, in this hotel, there was also, it's like a family-run hotel apparently. So one of you viewers, messaged me and said there's this crazy thing going on, and I saw some messages that apparently were from the hotel owner's kid who works there, but they're doing other jobs, but they're it's probably Koreatown. It was probably some Korean American kid helping their parents run this hotel while they got their other thing going on, their other job going on. And it was saying it was such an uncomfortable position because it was we were trying to stop them, the police were even called. And so yeah, here is some of the video and audio, and you take a listen. So, from what you can gather from the language, and I want to focus on what this language reveals about this lady, what kind of personality is being exhibited here. She essentially is so in the wrong that I can't even, because she is saying, do you really think you deserve to be loved by all these people, you bastards? Isn't that the job of the idol? And so even when they were taking pictures with the fans, the management said, like, don't talk to them, don't get close to them, as if like they were overstepping their bounds. Now, when you are an idol, you interact with your fans. Yes, maybe they were just thinking like, oh, we need to get home. Like, we need to like speed this up. But regardless, that is the wrong message you want to send to your talent, because you want your talent to have the instinct of interacting with the fans and connecting with them. But the way that it sounds is that she is jealous of the success of her own idols. This completely blows my mind, but I'm not really that surprised because, okay, this looks like a woman who needs to go in for some help. The biggest takeaway was that she kept saying to them, get up, stop being so tired. I'm the one that's tired. How come you're not taking care of me? Because the other members, which is great how they were looking after each other, and one member apparently was feeling under the weather or was sick and whatnot. And so he was being cared for by the other members, and then she was lobbing abuses at all of them. It was kind of random. It was just kind of like she was like doing like a sweeping fire, and then when she can like, hit somebody when they were down, literally when they were down, once at the restaurant and also in the hotel lobby, she went after them and said like, how come you don't take care of me that way? Excuse me, sweetie. You are the CEO. Your job is to take care of them. Yes, it's hard being the CEO because nobody really takes care of you, although it looks like, your chairman be taking care of you. So it is not their job to make you feel better about yourself, especially when your weird, twisted self-esteem is so tied up into whatever kind of delusions you have going on about how this is triggering you. And who dresses like that? Maybe that's why you weren't feeling that good. She looked like she was a lost Smurf coming back from Azrael's house. And who dresses like that as the CEO? She looked like, she looked like a homeless Smurf. So she kept saying like, oh, well, it's all because of me. You think that you did this all on your own. And it was all about like me. Yeah, I know your job is tough, but you chose that, and you get to reap the benefits if you actually do your job right. And so she was on and on about her. And the craziest thing about this was that they just left. The management just left LA and left the guys there in Los Angeles, and they had to pay for their own airline tickets back home, either out of their own pocket or their parents in Korea had to send them money in order to get back home, which they did. So they are back here in Korea. Apparently, at least towards the public, they just made an announcement late this week saying like, okay, well, we've patched things up. We're going to move on. But how crazy is that to be abandoned there? Now, this is again showing the whole gaslighting situation that is going on with this lady. When she was asked by the media, she did admit that that was her yelling all those abuses, but she said like, oh, I was just upset by their behavior. And then when asked about why they were left in Los Angeles, she said, oh, we were concerned that they would be on an airplane flight with the fans, like the fans that had come to LA. They were also flying out apparently. And what an excuse, because a lot of K-pop stars fly on commercial, and there are there can be fans. And then also what this shows is probably they just got them economy tickets, so that increases the chance of, being around your fans. But even buying business class doesn't, stop fans from buying a business class seat too, just to be around them. But regardless, the way that they were just abandoned and tossed aside after that, horrible. And there's like pictures of like, social on social media about her messages, how like, she brings them clothes to wear and she just dumps it on the dirty carpet in front of the hotel room. And the messages are always like, thank you so much from the members. The members, even though they're treated this way, always say like, thank you so much to their CEO. Now, this is also reason why I think, this company is a little bit, it's not a big company, and not all companies have to be big. And it is admirable that, if the CEO has to do this, like basically she was acting like a manager, it seemed. But your attitude also makes a huge difference in whether you're going to stay at that level or whether you're going to grow. And it looks like, these guys should be looking for a different place to do their music. And so I went to I just wanted to see the building, and oh gosh, it looked like a mess. So here, take a look. Yeah, so it's just like a roundup. A gas station with a car wash next to it with like a lot of chaos outside. So no wonder. I mean, like this woman's whole like, they're attracted probably to the drama. And from what I've seen here in Korea is that there are people with unresolved trauma, and they are addicted to the chaos and the conflict. And so this is a type of woman who, or person, because there's men and women just like this, and not just Korea. I've worked with people like this in the United States too. Their sense of normal is always fighting and chaos, and it is I think it's a psychopathological response to trauma, and this is how they feel safe. Always arguing, always fighting, always trying to put other people down. And this is not the only voice against her. Apparently, there have been tons of witnesses who came forward, including a very popular beauty blogger who did YouTube's videos with them. And he said when she walked into the room interrupting their shoot, like he just got the baddest vibes off of her and was just like, wow, I can't believe that you would have to work with somebody like that every day. And then other witnesses, other former bandmates, because some of these members, this is already their second time in the rodeo. I wonder how the first one was. They were part of a different boy band, and then some of them became part of Omega X, and some of their other K-pop idol friends who, didn't join the group also chimed in, said like, this is unacceptable, unforgivable. And the key phrase that I've heard from this is that she said like, who are you? Who do you think you are? And to me, that is, when I see that here in Korea, it makes the person who says that look so low class. Essentially, it's this thing about like, well, I'm this person and you're nothing. So, you're not allowed to speak to me that way. But if you have to bring that out, that means you ain't nothing either, sweetie. Because why do you have to keep reminding people that they're nothing and you're something if you really were something. If you really were something, that conversation never even comes up. And so what I see is a very scared, lost, anxiety-ridden, and like a deformed Smurf with like no self-esteem, taking it out on these guys who are just trying to fulfill one of the hardest jobs there is. And if she keeps going on like this, I don't even see how they're, already the people that have come to support them have easily publicly said that they support them. Imagine how their families feel. And again, this was the dumb move. Out of 11 families, because there's 11 guys, out of 11 families, don't you think that at least like one of those family members, like who knows, it's like 11 times, it could be like 4 people, 5 people, 10 people, depending on how many cousins you got, uncles and aunts, grandma, grandpas that are mad at this woman. You think she can walk out, of Smurfland? I don't know. I think she gotta watch her back and probably go through the car wash if she wants to try to, make her, incognito escape in and out of that building. And not only that, I did want to bring this up. So they went to Chile as part of their world tour, and apparently they sold out some pretty good, audiences. And there was a translator, and she got so abused by the staff, and they said that it was racial or racist in either overt or undertones. And she was left crying by the end of the night. I mean, the interpreter, okay? If you gotta go that far to try to feel better about yourself, then maybe this is not the right job for you. And so she's saying, this has been so hard. We've been screwed over by the first touring, company and the second touring company. Yes, there's a lot of shady people in the industry, but you should have known that going in, and you don't look so, non-shady yourself. So what are you complaining about when it comes to directing your anger on the people that are supposed to even be the ones making you money? That is the dumbest thing. That's like owning a factory and start throwing hammers and axes or something into the production machine. What kind of idiot do you have to be able to be abusing the actual work product that you are depending on? And she even had the audacity to put up on her social media that she accuses them of being two-faced. Maybe she was talking about herself, but usually narcissists, when they're accusing you of something, they're basically talking about themselves. And she said that, don't live while wearing a mask. I want to throw up because of that mask. So, maybe her masks need a little bit of cleaning. So thank you for the subscribers who took time to message me about this situation. I wanted to collect all of the evidence that was out there, and it was a great thing, I think, that this actually got picked up in mainstream Korean media and that they actually got her response. And like I said, I didn't want to get her response face to face because, what am I going to do in a physical alteration with a grown hoe? So if you haven't heard of Omega X, well, now through this, I guess, they say like, all publicity is good publicity, but this was not a good situation for them. And if anything, because they've gone through this, I think they deserve a listen. And if you feel so inclined, become a follower or a fan member of Omega X and trying to support them and see if, the fandom can carry them perhaps to a better home. Okay, guys, I think the dirty secret is that more people than not don't really wash their sponges and brushes as often as they should. And so I think one of these great products out there that are so cheap, I think this is $5 on Amazon, is the e.l.f. Solid Sponge Cleanser. And they say it's for sponges, but I've used it for brushes as well. And it is essentially a soap in a container. And this, I think I've already been using this for like a year, and it still looks like I haven't even used it that much. What I like to do is run the faucet and then just wash. But since, I have to be here, I'm going to use a bowl of water. And you can see that you just rub it like this and the soap comes out. And it has a cool smell. It smells like a fresh unisex cologne, and it works really well. I mean, it just immediately gets rid of the makeup. And yeah, that's just with one little, wishy wish. And if you just put it under the faucet, it's so much faster. And the makeup brushes as well, as fast as you just go shoosh, 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 shoosh. And you just, leave it out to dry a little bit. And basically, it's also perfect for traveling. So if you want like a no fuss makeup brush and sponge cleanser, I'd highly recommend this. e.l.f. is, one of those like affordable products on the market, and they claim to be, vegan and cruelty free, and also free of some of the bad chemicals like phthalates, parabens, and ethoxylates and triclosan and all of these other kind of things I can't even pronounce. So check that out. And of course, the mask sale continues. Consider the bundle if you want to use this for your eyes, the mask for total face. You get the highest quality Korean LED light technology to go to 2 depths of your skin, one that targets your collagen and the other that targets all of the blood vessels and capillaries in your face in order to circulate it more. It does things that regular skincare can't do, and if you can't get to the dermatologist, it's better than Botox and definitely better than Retinol. So check that out. The $60 coupon code is still active for Seoulite TV viewers only. All right, guys, so what do you think? I mean, that is such abuse that we should not expect anymore. And I'm glad that more overseas fans are also speaking out, because as a consumer, you have a right to tell them what you are willing to accept or not accept. I mean, we say more about what we don't like if you order something at a restaurant. Abuse of people like that should not be tolerated, and you should tell the music CEOs that you're not going to tolerate it, and therefore you're not going to support them if this kind of stuff continues to happen. All right, guys, well, what do you think? Put it in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.